Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Sunday, the 24th of March 2024, and we have 49 events to cover, going all the way back to the year 1199. Starting with the most recent event, which happened 5 years ago. Jakarta MRT, a rapid transit system in Jakarta, began operation. 6 years ago, in 2018, in the Syrian civil war, the Turkish armed forces and Syrian National Army take full control of Afrin district, marking the end of the Afrin offensive. In the same year, students across the United States stage the March for Our Lives, demanding gun control in response to the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting. 9 years ago, in 2015, German Wings Flight 9525 crashes in the French Alps in an apparent pilot mass murder-suicide, killing all 150 people on board. 16 years ago, in 2008, Bhutan officially becomes a democracy with its first ever general election. 21 years ago, in 2003, the Arab League votes 21-1 in favour of a resolution demanding an end to the 2003 invasion of Iraq. 25 years ago, in 1999, in the Kosovo War, NATO began attacks on Yugoslavia without United Nations Security Council approval, marking the first time NATO has attacked a sovereign country. In the same year, a lorry carrying margarine and flour catches fire inside the Mont Blanc tunnel, creating an inferno that kills 38 people. 26 years ago, in 1998, Mitchell Johnson and Andrew Golden, aged 11 and 13 respectively, opened fire upon teachers and students at Westside Middle School in Jonesboro, Arkansas. 5 people are killed and 10 are wounded. In the same year, a tornado sweeps through Dantan in India, killing 250 people and injuring 3,000 others. Also in the same year, Dr. Rudiger Marmula performed the first computer-assisted bone segment navigation at the University of Regensburg, Germany. 31 years ago, in 1993, Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 is discovered by Carolyn and Eugene Shoemaker and David Levy at the Palomar Observatory in California. 34 years ago, in 1990, Indian intervention in the Sri Lankan Civil War ends with the last ship of Indian peacekeeping force leaving Sri Lanka. 35 years ago, in 1989, in Prince William Sound in Alaska, the Exxon Valdez spills 240,000 barrels of crude oil after running aground. 38 years ago, in 1986, the Losco gas explosion leads to new UK laws on landfill gas migration and gas protection on landfilled sites. 42 years ago, in 1982, Bangladeshi President Abdus Sattar is deposed in a bloodless coup led by Army Chief Lieutenant General Hussein Mohammed Ershad, who suspends the Constitution and imposes martial law. 44 years ago in 1980, El Salvadorian Archbishop Oscar Romero is assassinated while celebrating Mass in San Salvador. 47 years ago in 1977, Morarji Desai becomes the Prime Minister of India, the first Prime Minister not to belong to Indian National Congress. 48 years ago in 1976, in Argentina, the armed forces overthrow the constitutional government of President Isabel Perón and start a 7-year dictatorial period self-styled the National Reorganization Process. 52 years ago in 1972, direct rule is imposed on Northern Ireland by the government of the United Kingdom under Edward Heath. 63 years ago in 1961, the Quebec Board of the French language is established. 75 years ago in 1949, Hans Albin Rauter, a chief SS and police leader in the Netherlands, is convicted and executed for crimes against humanity. 78 years ago in 1946, a British cabinet mission arrives in India to discuss and plan for the transfer of power from the British Raj to Indian leadership. 80 years ago in 1944, German troops massacre 335 Italian civilians in Rome. In the same year, in World War II, in an event later dramatised in the movie The Great Escape, 76 Allied prisoners of war begin breaking out of the German camp Stalag Luft Free. "85 years ago in 1939, the 1939 Liechtenstein Putsch takes place. Approximately 40 members of the VBDL, starting from Nendel towards Vaduz with the intention of overthrowing the government and provoking Liechtenstein's annexation into Germany. 90 years ago in 1934, the Tidings-McDuffie Act is passed by the United States Congress, allowing the Philippines to become a self-governing commonwealth. 97 years ago in 1927, Nanking Incident. Foreign warships bombard Nanjing, China, in defense of the foreign citizens within the city. 103 years ago in 1921, the 1921 Women's Olympiad began in Monte Carlo, becoming the first international women's sports event. 124 years ago in 1900, Mayor of New York Robert Anderson Van Wyck breaks ground for a new underground rapid transit railroad that would link Manhattan and Brooklyn. In the same year, Carnegie Steel Company is formed in New Jersey. Its capitalization of $160 million is the largest to date. 142 years ago in 1882, Robert Koch announces the discovery of Mycobacterium tuberculosis, the bacterium responsible for tuberculosis. 146 years ago in 1878, the British frigate HMS Eurydice sinks, killing more than 300. 154 years ago in 1870, a Chilean prospecting party led by José Díaz-Garner discovers the silver ores of caracoles in the Bolivian portion of Atacama Desert, leading to the last of the Chilean silver rushes and the diplomatic dispute over its taxation between Chile and Bolivia. 155 years ago in 1869, the last of Tito Kawaru's forces surrendered to the New Zealand government, ending his uprising. 164 years ago in 1860, Sakura Daimon incident. Japanese Chief Minister Tairo Lee Narasuke is assassinated by Ronin samurai outside the Sakurada Gate of Edo Castle. 170 years ago in 1854, President José Gregorio Monegas abolishes slavery in Venezuela. 192 years ago in 1832, in Hiram, Ohio, a group of men beat and tar and feather Mormon leader Joseph Smith. 195 years ago in 1829, the Parliament of the United Kingdom passes the Roman Catholic Relief Act 1829, allowing Catholics to serve in Parliament. 230 years ago in 1794, in Krakow, Tadeusz Kościuszko announces a general uprising against Imperial Russia and the Kingdom of Prussia and assumes the power of the commander-in-chief of all the Polish forces. 259 years ago in 1765, Great Britain passes the Quartering Act, which requires the 13 colonies to house British troops. 303 years ago in 1721, Johann Sebastian Bach dedicated 6 concertos to Margrave Christian Ludwig of Brandenburg-Schwedt, now commonly called the Brandenburg Concertos, BWV 1046 to 1051. 304 years ago in 1720, Count Frederick of Hesse-Kassel is elected King of Sweden by the Riksdag of the Estates, after his consort Ulrika Eleonora abdicated the throne on the 29th of February. 361 years ago in 1663, the province of Carolina is granted by charter to 8 Lords Proprietor in reward for their assistance in restoring Charles II of England to the throne. 421 years ago in 1603, James VI of Scotland is proclaimed King James I of England and Ireland upon the death of Elizabeth I. 421 years ago in 1603, Tokugawa Ieyasu is granted the title of shogun from Emperor Go-Yozai and establishes the Tokugawa shogunate in Edo, Japan. 623 years ago in 1401, Turco-Mongol Emperor Timur sacks Damascus. 637 years ago in 1387, English victory over a Franco-Castilian Flemish fleet in the Battle of Margate off the coast of Margate. 825 years ago in 1199, King Richard I of England is wounded by a crossbow bolt while fighting in France, leading to his death on April the 6th. So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.